Hey everyone, it's Darby of Riverbend Fishing again. This is episode 1. Today we're going to talk about what I carry in my truck for my daily fishing activities. Be right back with you. I don't know if the microphone's picking up or not, but it just started to rain. Hopefully it won't get too loud here. In my truck, every single day, I carry 3 items for fishing. 4 if you count the ice chest that's strapped into the back seat back there. I just took this picture. You'll have to ignore how dirty my truck is. I live and work in my truck. I don't really live in it, but you know what I mean. That ice chest, I just keep it for when I'm going to go on, longer trips or going to be out there longer. I can put ice and waters and iced tea, that kind of stuff in it. I don't use it for fish. I have another ice chest that goes in the back of the truck for fish. And there's only one rod in the truck in that picture because one was in the house. And I'll explain the whole rod reel thing on the video about my rods and reels and gear. But suffice it to say, this is the one that was in the picture. This is just a Lew's TXS combo from Academy. I love this rod and reel. It's the only Lew's I own, but I love this rod and reel. It's done me great. The other one that I carry is this Shimano. It's a FX1. I also have FX2s. And I'll talk about these on the rod and reel video. But for this video, let's concentrate on the bag that I carry, what's in it, and why I carry it. Let me get the camera readjusted and I'll show you what's up. Okay, this is the bag I carry now. I've been carrying it for, I'm going to say 6 or 7 months. Sorry, it's starting to rain harder. I've been carrying this for 6 or 7 months now. Before this bag, I carried this one. This is a Magellan bag from Academy. It's a sling pack. I actually like this a lot. It just didn't carry enough for what I needed in my truck. If I was gonna use a 2-bag system where I kept a big bag in the truck and just threw stuff in the little bag I was gonna go fish with right then, I would stay with this. I'm keeping this bag because I like it, and I'll probably find a use for it, but it just wasn't big enough. I researched bags, and Bass Pro / Cabela's had a great looking bag, and I went and looked at it. I was going to buy it, and I want to say it was like $40, maybe $50. It just had one 3600 size tack thing in it, and then it had a pocket on the front. I had it in my hand, and I was like, this is the bag that I'm going to get. This is what I'm looking for. And I was just walking around the store, and I was over where the regular backpacks are, and there was 3 or 4 of these on the floor, not even hanging up, but on the floor against the wall, and they were like $9.85 or $9.18, something like that. I don't know if they were being discontinued or that's the normal price for them. You can look for them. I haven't looked for them again since this one, but it says Ridgeline on it right here. Oh, I'm sorry, Ridge Hunter. It says Ridge Hunter on it right here. And then I had it embroidered with my channel's logo right there, the Riverbend Fishing. It has the same size pockets. It's actually a little bit bigger than the Cabela's / Bass Pro bag, and it was under $10. So I put the other bag up, grabbed this one. I figured even if it went terribly wrong, I didn't really lose anything. Everything that I use for bass fishing, when I'm not in a boat, that stuff is in a tackle box behind the camera. I still use hard tackle boxes because I like the waterproofness of them and how it holds everything in there. I just haven't switched over to the soft side, and I probably won't. Everything I use for bass fishing is in this bag. Whether it's my first trip to a water source or my 100th trip there, everything I use is in here. Let me get to it real quick and let me show you what's in here. It's not a lot, and it's very, very, very light. Maybe just a couple of pounds. I mean, I can easily pick it up. I can't show you on here, but I can easily pick it up with one finger and carry it around. So when I bought this, it did not come with a bag in it or a tackle box. So I went over and specifically got this one. This is one of the Plano Guide series boxes. let me show you what I like about this and why I got this. It's about the size of a 3600 tackle box. I think it probably is a 3600 size tackle box. It's just a smidge thicker than most of them, but the reason is, I mean, it's not that thick. There's the edge of it. There's my fingers. The reason it's just a little bit thicker than most of them is because it's a double decker, and each side locks separately. So on the top here, I have all my hard lures and such, my rattle traps, my whopper ploppers, my black and white frogs, my rattle traps. I may have already said that. I do have a buzz bait in here, and when I set something up and I take it off, I hang them on these orange strings on the outside of the bag. You probably can't see it, but there's orange strings on the outside of the bag, and I'll just stick it in there until I get back to the truck. By then it'll be dry, and I throw it back in here and I use it the next time. You can see the bass took the part of that one off. I need to replace that one. Anyway, that's all the hard baits that I use right there. And then close that and lock it up. And it's not coming undone. It's as locked as it ever is going to get. In the bottom of this, then I carry another buzz bait, full-size spinner, miniature spins, and then all my terminal tackle. Shaky head, Ned rig hooks, shaky head hooks, various different sizes of worm hooks, hooks for salt baits, bullet weights in 2 different sizes, 2 different weights. Anyway, it's just all my terminal tackle, and it's kept right here. So everything that I need, I can go fishing with just this box. I can go fishing with just this box and catch fish. So I bought that on purpose. Now, one thing that I see on other people's videos, and I am going to try not to be that guy, I can't promise because stuff breaks, is I don't plan on being that guy that goes, oh, I think it's a 1-pounder or a 2-pound fish. I don't know what's up with these guys, especially the ones that are sponsored by companies that make scales, that they don't have them with them. I'm not sponsored. I just love Berkley. You'll see that here in a few minutes. So when I decided I was going to start doing these videos, I went and bought the Berkley scale, and I specifically bought it because it was Berkley, and I love Berkley, but because it's in this case. Hopefully that will protect it some, and I'll have a scale whenever I need to weigh a fish. So that is all that is in the big pocket, is the scale, which just got added a few weeks ago, and the tackle. In the other pocket, well, before we get there, if you have not tried these Boomerang Tool Company cutters, scissors, I don't know how I got along without them. They're on a stretchy thing here, so I can take it out. I can cut what I need to. It cuts braid, it cuts mono, it cuts everything. It locks closed so you don't get anything cut by accident, and it just clips on anything. It's got a little carabiner there, and I just keep it on my bag right there. Inside of this little flat pocket on the front, the only thing in here besides the tether for it is my fishing pliers and another set of cutters, stainless steel tips. They're aluminum, really lightweight. And then I got I've got, if I need to tether it, I can tether it to something so I don't lose it. I've never tethered it, so that's what kind of scared me there for a second. I was like, man, I never took it out. It should be in there. So that's 2 out of the 3 pockets on the bag. The last one is right here, and all it has in it is this and then these. There's nothing else in that pocket. Let me slide this out of the way because we don't need it in the view here. Okay. I should have shown you when I had the tackle box open. I'm not going to show it right now because it's not that big of a deal. I had a problem getting stuff from Guggen's website. The one thing that they make that I love is their rattling Neds. I ordered them. I missed 3 fishing trips well, I didn't miss them, but I did not have the baits that I wanted on 3 fishing trips waiting for these things to come in. They just kept saying, sorry, sorry, we're busy, sorry, sorry, sorry. Okay, so what I did was I went out online and I found the rattles. They're dirt cheap. They're a couple of pennies a piece. So I bought a bunch of them. They're in that terminal tackle thing, and when I want them, now after these are gone, these are the ones I was physically waiting for. When these are gone, I won't be buying any more of these from them. I'll buy the cheaper Neds, and I'll just stick my own rattle in it. I've already started putting rattles in, worms and some crawls, some other things. I don't need to put up with bad service for a product. I can figure out how to get around that. I love these, but I'm not going to put up with that anymore. But I love Ned rigs. And then you're going to start to notice something here. It's not the only brand in here. I love Berkley. And we'll cover this real quick while we're here. You know, the newest manufacturer comes out. There's newer ones since then, but you know, the new Guggen comes out, or whoever it is, and all these people are like, oh, it's the greatest thing ever, and they'll switch over, and then for some reason they start bad-mouthing the baits that were out before. I've seen more people on videos talk about, oh, all they have is Berkley. All they have is Berkley. And I'm like, dude, people were catching fish on Berkley before the people were born that are making this stuff. This other stuff. These people weren't even born when Berkley was catching fish. And I've yet to meet a fish that gets up in the morning and looks at a calendar and says, you know what, it's 2022, I'm not eating Berkleys anymore. If they were eating them 10 years ago and 20 years ago and 30 years ago and 40 years ago, they're going to eat it today. Is there some better stuff out? Maybe. But this is my go-to stuff. This is what I catch fish on. This got added because it was a good product. I'm not stuck on one thing. There's some stuff in here that's not Berkley. Anyway, I keep these. These could easily go in here, except I find that if you take them out, if I take them out of these plastic cases, the tails get messed up and they don't work right. They'll swim funny, or they'll look funky. I like the 3.8 inch. Some people call them 4s. Let me make sure I'm not lying to you. Yeah, 3.8 inch. I like the 3.8s. Call it 4. I like, for where I live at, the bass are small. So almost, if not all, of my lures are 4 inches or smaller. Because the number one bass that I'm going to catch around here, as a rule, is about a 1-pounder. And 1-pounders are not going after 8-inch Mondo worms or super worms, things like that. They're going after the smaller game to them. Now, I'm going to sound like a fool right here. I don't know what these are called. I know they're a binder. I don't know if they're a worm binder or a rig binder. I've heard them called different things, and there may be differences between binders. I just bought one at Bass Pro Shop. It was the cheapest one I could find. It was like $6 or $7. And I bought this because this is where I carry all of my soft plastics, except for the stuff that you just saw right there. I'm not going to take everything out. You're probably getting a glare and you can't see in here, but you're going to see a lot of Berkleys. 1, 2, 3. Well, not a whole lot, not even half. So there's 3 more Berkleys in here, and I'll show you one real quick. I keep them all in their original bags, and I just slide the bag in here. If this is what I'm going to use, I open this up and I get one out. On my worms, when I was talking about my soft stuff, I like 4-inch or less. On my worms, I'll buy 7-inch, and the reason I buy 7-inch is because I travel. And if I go someplace where the 7-inch will work for me, I'll use a 7-inch. If not, I break it off. I can break it off and make it a 4-inch. I can make this a Cinco, a 4-inch Cinco, by breaking off the curly tail, the power worm tail. That's what this is, by the way. It's a purple power worm. It's a two-tone purple. But I can break off the power tail, and now all of a sudden I've got me a stick bait. So by buying it in 7-inch, I get more, only on the worms, I get more use and variety out of them. I can use them 3 or 4 different ways, and I like that because, well, let's go to this. I see a lot of people on their videos that have a problem that I do not have, and I am blessed with it. I see them, gotta take my glass off for a second, talking about, I traveled this far to go to a friend's house, and while I'm here I go to Bass Pro Shops because I don't have one where I live. or I travel over here, or I don't have Academy, or I don't have this, or our Walmart only has a tiny fishing section. As I said in the intro to this channel, I live in a fishing mecca. Within 30 minutes of where I'm sitting right this second, 5 to 8 minutes away is a Bass Pro Shop. There are 2 Dick's Sporting Goods down here within 30 minutes. I don't shop at Dick's for a different reason, but there's 2 of them if I wanted to. We have 8 full-size academies. And we have, I'm going to guess, don't quote me, but I'm going to say a minimum of 15, maybe 20 Walmarts with big fishing sections. And then on top of that, we have no less than 50 bait and tackle shops. Most of them specialize in saltwater. But we have no less than 50. Sometimes the number I'm sure is higher as they come and go. But we have whatever tackle I want to get, I don't have to order it online. I can find it in the valley. The hardest thing for me to find in the valley, though, is bass tackle. And, of course, having Bass Pro Shop, that takes care of that. And the academies carry a good selection. So, I can get whatever baits I want. They're available to me. I have recently started buying them online, started to buy some online just because it's cheaper. Anyway, I went off subject there. Everything that I've shown you, the stuff that's in there, and my hard tackle that's in there, and my salt baits that are here, it's all my go-to. There's nothing experimental in my bag. If I want to take something experimental, I'll buy it and I'll go and I'll fish with it, but it's not going to be added to my bag. I'm going to throw that in my pocket. I mean, I'll put it in a bag when I'm driving. No, I don't even, actually. I throw it on the passenger seat of my truck. I go out, I hook it up, and I use it. If I like it, I may use it again, but I'm going to have to use it. I'm not exaggerating, folks. It took, I don't know how long these rattle and Neds have been out, but I have just started adding them to my my bag. I used to just buy them every so often and use them. Before I get to these next sections, let me readjust the camera some because I'm getting a real bad glare. I'll be right back with you. Okay, that seems better. I can see on the camera, I can see through the plastic before, well, y'all can see it better than I could. So I have the purples, I have the power tail with the bright green. That's kind of a dual purpose as far as I'm concerned, depending on the clarity of the water. And then I have the blue flake pit bosses. Now, this is straight up Darby here. My 2 go-tos when fish are not biting are Ned rigs and blue Berkeley Power Bait pit bosses. And they're 4-inch. They're 4-inch. If I'm not catching fish with this or the Ned after a little bit, there just ain't no fish there. Now, I'm not saying I switch those and all of a sudden it lights up, but on the days where it's 100, 110 degrees, literally 100, 110 degrees down here, and the bass are just laid up and they're not motivated to eat, I get skunked, everybody gets skunked, but I can almost always get a bite or catch a fish or 2 using primarily this one, but the Ned rigs too. Now we switch back here. This is the garlic scented Bait by Rabbit, and these are called Hot Beat, I think. Yeah, Hot Beat. These are I have good luck with these. They are frogs. They're soft plastic frogs, and they got the little red tips on it. I need to figure out where to get the double hooks. I just don't see them down here. I need to go online tonight and look for them because I think the double hooks I lose a lot of these. The red tip, they'll just take those off. Whereas if there was a hook back there, like they're showing here, as a matter of fact, they're showing the hook back there. Anyway, I have good luck with these. I have more luck with these than I do with the black and white frogs. I don't know why. I'm not a fish psychologist, but man, why don't I see? There it goes. And then probably the number one, if they're not the number one brand in lures, I don't know who is, baits, sales-wise, and that's Zoom. I love Zoom. I love the price. I love how long they last. Anyway, these are the speed crawls, and I always get the speed crawls in the watermelon seed. And you know, you can cover so much water with these. And these are 4-inch. They're all, like I said, everything I buy is 4-inch or 3-inch, except for the worms, because I can use them for different things. But the watermelon seed speed crawls from Zoom, love them. Love them. It's a great lure, and I'll say it right now. As much as you heard me say earlier that I love Berkeley, I have caught more bass off of the Zoom watermelon, off of the Zoom watermelon crawl speed crawls than any other fish. That's including when I was fishing in Virginia, Pensacola, Orlando, and here in Texas. I caught more with those. Now, one last thing here, and I'd like for everybody to listen up, especially if you're new to fishing. If you have a Bass Pro Shop, or I'm sure Cabela's has them too since they're the same company now, if you go there, they will have a kit, a worm kit, and they'll have like 8 or 10 different worms in it. Like 2 different sizes, 4 different colors, or 5 different sizes, 5 different colors, whatever it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different sizes, 5 different colors. I'm sorry, 2 different sizes of 5 different colors. It is the best buy, in my opinion. It is the best buy on the market. If you're going to buy just regular worms, I would always buy that. If you're traveling somewhere and you use artificial worms, and you see a Bass Pro, stop and buy you 1 or 2 of those kits. It's just pennies a piece if you buy them that way. And what I do with them is I just take the 2 that are the same color, the 2 different sizes that are the same color, and I just put them in a Ziploc bag. And then I throw the put the Ziploc bags in here, and you can get some varying colors on them. I always tend to lean towards there's a couple of colors I use mostly. That one's green, a shade of green. That one's a shade of green, a purple, and another green, purple blue. I stick with black and white for my power swimmers and my frogs. I stick with the different shades of green and different sparkle effects of green and blue and purples. That's what seems to work for me. You know, I've seen people that use, what is that called? I think it's Zoom, as a matter of fact. It may not be. But one of the bigger companies makes a worm that's pink. And I have seen people just slaying with that pink worm. I haven't ever used it. I'm going to try it. Anyway, those are the colors that I stick with, even like I said, even with my power baits. There's a green, there's a blackish, black and gray, and then a white. That is all the tackle I take with me. Period. If I'm not fishing in a boat. If I'm fishing in a boat, I have more tackle but less of it, if that makes sense. Instead of having, you know, 18 of these, I'll have 5 different colors and only like 2 or 3 of each, instead of having 6, 6, and 6, or however many's left in them. That one hasn't been opened yet. That one hasn't been opened yet. So yeah, and that one's actually on a reel right behind me. Instead of carrying 18, well, I'll probably still carry 18, but instead of only having 3 colors, I'll have like 6 colors. I'll just carry 3 of each. That's the big difference, is I just have more variety of colors. This is my go-to. Nothing here is experimental or I'm trying it out. This is what when you see me, when I start putting out the fishing videos, which I've already started filming, when you see me walk along and I'll just drop the bag, this is the bag I'm dropping, and I'll be using only, unless I specifically say, today I'm trying this or today I have that. You'll be able to look at the end of that rod and go, oh, I know what he's got. I saw this video. Until next time, see you out at the water.